from what we understand, the Trump administration, their policy related to this is that the universities, and specifically those that allowed pro-Hamas protests on their campus and aided and abetted viewpoint discrimination and violated the civil rights of Jewish students, that they are not entitled to federal funding because they violated the civil rights of those students, and that federal funding is contingent on compliance with the standards and conditions of federal funding. We know that the Supreme Court has ruled back in 1983, Bob Jones University versus United States, in a very clear way that if it is against the public policy of the United States of America, you're not entitled to tax-exempt status. And as a principal, you are not entitled as a private institution or a private individual to public money, full stop.
I'm not sure on what grounds he's talking about. I mean, certainly you can have access to federal funds. It's up to the federal government to decide whether or not you are entitled to those funds. But those funds aren't for nothing. Those funds are they fund research. They fund scientific projects. They fund different types of things that's of benefit to the federal government. The federal government's not just handing out money to Harvard just because it feels like it. That money is in exchange for something that the federal government gets. Also, the whole notion of discrimination kind of seems flipped on its head here, because we're not talking about students who are discriminated against getting into a university. We're talking about students who felt threatened by a campus protest. Now, let's be clear, these campus protests are more or less one-offs. We haven't heard very much about it recently. We've only heard about it in the last 6 to 8 months, mainly after the war started. But it was not a consistent and ongoing threat to campus security for students who opposed those protests.